Welcome back to Workbench Wednesday. This week we're doing more or less a product review regarding the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch brand of clear matte coat paints. So they come in a rattle can and they can be applied very similar to a base primer. So the model on the left has not been varnished yet, and you can see he's got kind of a little bit more of a matte finish. Now he's undercoated for the greens with Snotling green, and then every model here has been washed with Agrax. So the two differences that you can see primarily are the effects that the spray primer slash varnish has had on this guy here. His metal colors, which are these brass hints here, which were done with a little bit of naloxone oxidization or whatever, that blue one by Games Workshop, has more of a glossed finish on it. And his skin, in fact, actually looks almost a little bit sweaty. I'm curious if, yep, the camera can kind of pick it up. You can see it on the brow of his forehead. So this one here, his forehead is a lot less shiny. It's more of a flat finish. And this one here, his head is a lot more glossy and shiny. So depending on what kind of varnish you use, you can get different results. I personally don't mind a little bit of a glossy effect. I've heard that varnishes, when they are a higher gloss varnish, have a better tendency to retain the quality of your paint, whether that's through exposure to sunlight or to actual like touching and feeling and being manipulated on the tabletop. Now, as an orc player, I will be moving my models a lot, so I generally want a model to hold up over time because I don't want to have to repaint constantly 200 plus boys or a bunch of buggies or war bosses. So, in a moment here, I'm going to show you what the can looks like. So here we have the Rust-Oleum branded paint. This is the one that comes in the rattle can, just like you would with a regular primer, white or black. It's your cheapest rattle can of spray matte finish that you can get. You can get a Canadian Tire or Walmart for around $9, and that's Canadian. So this is the model that I previously showed with the gloss effect, kind of. It's not as matte as they describe it as on the can, but hey, you're only paying $9, and this can has done probably close to 50 models for me, and that includes grots and vehicles. So here's another model, for example, that I have finished with it. He is the Death Killer Wartrike, and you can see that kind of glossy effect on his skin tones. But oddly enough, through a dry brush of lead belcher on top of a contrast paint with Agrax as the final touch, there's kind of a matter finish. So depending on what kind of base tones you're using, whether it's contrast or your typical layer paints, you will have varying results. So you can see his back is quite shiny compared to the matte finish on this buggy here. And even if I like really adjust him in the light, you can just see it just starts to shine there a little bit. So this is the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch. It's a clear matte finish. Can be used in any weather condition. I'm up here in the Northern Hemisphere, and as such, we actually were using it out in -11 the other day. And that's actually when I did this guy, because I just wanted to have him prepped and good to go. And I haven't had any icing or caking on effects. Mind you, I do very light coats, and if it's a high contact area, say like the top of this guy's claw or his shoulders, I would give him 2 hits with it, but let 24 hours between each dosing, so that way it finishes really clear. You also want to make sure that your paints are really dry before you use it, because I don't know what's in this product specifically that causes it, but it will actually cause wet paint to run quite a bit. So I've had it affect, what was I using on? I think it was just my base coat of Rust-Oleum brand white paint, and it actually hadn't dried enough, and when I used it, it started running down onto the base that I was painting the model on. So, knowing that, this is a cheap option, smells really bad, but do it outside and you'll be okay. Works in most weather conditions that I've tested in, so that's been rain, snow, and really cold weather. Haven't had any icing effects, but let me know down in the comments section below if you use the Rust-Oleum brands, and if not, which is your favorite? I know a lot of people out there use the Tester's Dull Coat, and then I've heard that Rust-Oleum also does a dead matte, which I couldn't find, but is apparently really good. So, if you're using any spray-on varnishes, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.